Hey everybody, welcome back to the Resident Evil Remake Commentary. Let me see, we got the battery last part, right? Yeah. So we're heading back to the courtyard today because we're going to the Catacombs.
The loading elevator never really sat with me. Just never really liked that. God,
It's not the same as a door.
those leaves are so detailed. It's beautiful.
Can you skip the loading screen doors in this version of the game?
No.
No.
You can mod them out if you're playing the PC version.
I mean, even with a slightly duff resolution, the leaves in this pre-rendered background look still legitimately better than most real-time graphics would have vegetation look today.
Yeah, suck at Horizon.
Um,
It's literally better than the best game ever. The best looking game ever made.
Who says that Horizon's the best? I mean, I know that they're number one in customer service for 10 years running.
Verizon Zero Dawn.
What? Okay, so what makes... Who said
I wouldn't call Horizon Zero Dawn the best game ever, the best looking game ever made by any stretch. Especially in vegetation, they kind of sacrifice detail for gaminess by having all the grass be red, so that it's believable that this redhead can camouflage herself among grass.
Yeah, but who said that it was the best looking game ever made? Because I
think it's one of the best looking games of the
It's a
generation.
damn good looking game.
Yeah.
But,
it's definitely up there.
Yeah, but it does have graphical elements that are geared more toward gameplay clarity than toward visual appeal. You know.
Have you seen the someone made a video / GIF of the actual game camera pulled far above, and you can see like actually the world
how
loading
everything
and unloading
loads.
based
Yeah.
on where the camera's pointed.
Oh well, yeah, that's pretty common.
Yeah, it's pretty common, but it's interesting to see it be done in a game like that.
Like
when
it
that
loads in
actually
a
looks
cone.
really good.
yeah, it
I would
calls
imagine-
stuff just depending on where the camera's pointing, not...
Well, I would imagine it's even more common in open world games because you gotta
Yeah.
use tricks like that to keep things seamless. Otherwise, you're stuck doing the Soul Reaver thing where it's a long hallway whenever you want to load a new area, and that's
Or you're gonna set your PS4 on fire.
yeah, true.
Still, though, for that game to be able to load that many things dynamically, depending on where the camera is, really goes to show how optimized that game is.
Yeah,
Or just how powerful the
It's
console
a really
is.
good game technically.
Yeah.
And I also like that they did that thing where Nier Automata does this in a different way, but integrating the heads-up display into the game lore by having it be an actual device in the game, so your character can see all this stuff.
Yeah,
It's great.
Doom did that too with the helmet.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to do it with a helmet. Horizon Zero Dawn did it with AR, augmented reality. Not that the character ever found out that was what it was called, but that's clearly what it is. It's cool. Oh, it's the Pyramid Head Circle. Oh no, we're not there yet, but that's down
No, not
here
yet, not
somewhere.
yet.
That's down here
It's
somewhere.
after the spider boss fight.
Yeah, the Pyramid Head Circle amuses me in retrospect. I hadn't played Silent Hill 2 back when I first played this, so I didn't get it. But yeah, it's like that one circular hallway in Silent Hill 2 where Pyramid Head is just tromping around, and you get to steal his sword.
And then slowly drag it along with you.
I mean, I call it a sword, but it's actually just a giant kitchen knife. So, yeah.
Does it do a lot of damage if you take it?
Oh yeah, but it's just really, really hard to hit anything with it because the wind-up is ridiculous. If you do manage to hit something with it, well, you got some
You're
payoff
probably
for that
killing-
risk.
yeah.
But
Probably
I've only-
broke your wrist, though.
I've only done it a few times.
Yeah, so I forgot to mention that the best thing about Remake is that it gives us the 180 turn.
Oh yeah, the 180 turn that was introduced in 3. Not even 2 has that.
No.
Enrico, don't come
Yeah.
closer, Chris.
Holy shit, Chris, you're huge!
Yeah.
Don't come any closer. Your size is scaring me. How could one man get so jacked?
Our science shows that you are so bulky that your body should implode upon itself from all the added weight. You defy science, Chris.
Yeah.
I think the
No,
real.
that's my line.
I think there is a legitimate point of logic to consider when talking about a hero who's this bulky and muscular. It's that after a certain point, bodybuilding becomes counterproductive to actual athletic movement. So there's bodybuilders and then there's athletes, and there's a reason athletes don't generally look like actual bodybuilders. You know?
What's the point of all that muscle if you can't turn to wipe your ass?
Like one of the things is that when your muscles grow to a certain point, they start consuming more oxygen, and that can cause your stamina to suffer.
Yeah, it's been noted that the big bodybuilder guys basically have like no workout stamina,
Yeah, so they can punch something really hard, but they only
do it once.
Only once, yeah.
Yeah, that scene where Chris punches the boulder like 6 goddamn times to push it into the lava is the most unrealistic thing in this goddamn franchise.
Specifically the boulder punching, and not the fact that we're in the volcano.
Not even the boulder punching, but the fact that he punches more than once.
But the other thing with the big bodybuilders is that they have like very little body fat in order to show off those muscles. Body fat does have a purpose. It stores water.
Yeah.
Which is something you really need to do when you're really trying to either work very hard for long periods of time or run. So
you gotta be a camel.
Well, that's also partially why, the traditional, big lumberjack guys or guys like the Mountain from Game of Thrones, they have a bit of a gut to them.
Yeah.
Or they're not like super rich, but they do have a lot of muscle under that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not to mention zero body fat or close to zero body fat makes it really obvious when you're dehydrated because your body looks like a fucking road map.
Yeah, I never thought we'd have a biology lesson on BrainScratch comps, but
It was
it's
due
perfect
to
for
happen.
that. I mean, we probably should have waited until the research laboratory, but
man, it's so weird that BSAA Chris has a more realistic riot gear outfit than Leon did.
I think this is his Resident Evil 1 outfit from Resident Evil 5.
What?
Because I don't recall this outfit in. This is not his default outfit from RE5, obviously.
He does
'cause that was
have
more of the athletic
Stars
wear.
uniform logo on his left arm.
It might be his Resi 6 outfit, actually.
I see. I don't remember the Resi 6 outfit.
Well, people don't really talk about that game at all things considered. And, I mean, granted, that's not really necessarily the game's fault. Oh, I forgot that there was Indiana Jones.
Dramatic roll!
Sick roll.
So I know that people don't really talk about Resident Evil 6. Like, 6 and 5 just seem to be the least talked about entries in this series in general.
5's not bad, it's just not really a Resident Evil game.
It had the problem of trying to fill 4 shoes. That was my problem with it. It's 5 is perfectly fine. Like I think 5 is fine.
It's kind of like it improves the mobility and some of the shooting mechanics, and there are some cool moments.
You also have DC Douglas.
Yes.
Yeah, and it certainly does the job of getting back into the main plot, but it's also a bit. It also kind of feels like a slightly weaker paint by numbers retread of 4 in a lot of aspects. So, this is the enemy you decide to use the defense gun on.
Yeah, you just shoot it once, sir. Now what?
Noisy cricket, go.
A noisy cricket to kill a giant
My
spider.
problem with 6 at the end of the day is that it's just so damn forgettable.
Yeah, I'll give you that from a story standpoint.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm talking about. Because gameplay-wise, I think it's okay.
Gameplay-wise, once you get past the fact that it is balls-out action, it's got some good stuff going on, And I really do like the variety in characters that you can play, except Helena. For some reason, Helena has nothing going on, and that bugs me.
Shovel 2.0.
Who is Helena's partner?
Helena Harper, was it? She's Leon's sidekick in the game. Basically, the second coming.
You
of
literally
that,
just used the herbs to open up a.
The second coming of that woman from the first CG movie, who's sort of just there to kind of be a female sidekick to Leon. Except she does have a bit going on in terms of story, and it culminates in an actually pretty damn impressive boss fight. But then she just kind of doesn't have any importance after that, and is just there to be a second player. But what bugs me about Helena isn't even her story role or anything about her character. It's that, like, the developers gave pretty much every character in the game something unique about their gameplay, and then forgot to do the same for Helena. It's not fun to play as.
No. Yes.
It's like,
one weapon I won't be showing off in this playthrough is the flamethrower.
oh yeah.
Because it's kind of got a gimmick to it just to use it. Because if you take it off of the holster, it locks the door. What you have to do is I think you have to get the fake one or get something else to replace the mechanism.
Yeah, there's a busted flamethrower that you can find in a crate that you crush in a puzzle.
Oops.
But does the one that work has yogurt on it?
No.
Aw.
Is the flamethrower useless in this game? Like most other
I'm
games
so
with them?
glad I opened this passage so that the boulder could roll after me.
No, I just didn't roll it the right way. Ted, honestly, it's been so long since I used the flamethrower, I don't remember how effective it was.
The flamethrower is useful in Resident Evil 7, at least.
It sounds like it would automatically burn zombie corpses, which sounds useful. Although you're pretty late in the game, so it sounds like you wouldn't.
Yeah,
because
because after the Catacombs section, we have no reason to really explore the mansion anymore.
You know, you could have just run through the door, I think.
Well, on the other hand, we are going through the lab, and there are zombies there, so I guess you could use it for the lab if you don't want to deal with Crimson Heads there.
Is there a new game plus feature in this game where you could keep your old weapons?
No.
Ah.
There is New Game Plus in terms of, well, it's called Once Again. Like, after you beat the game one time, the load game prompt becomes Once Again, and I don't remember what changes exactly between rounds.
I don't know. I think it's just you can continue to unlock things or something. I don't know.
Probably.
Oh, I think Once Again just gives you like a bald-face difficulty option too, rather than
instead of like
quiz.
telling you about hiking trips and what vacation are you going on this week. It just tells you easy, normal, and hard.
Well, in theory, I kind of like that method of asking a player what difficulty they want. Like, what kind of game do you like? How do you like your challenge?
I like Metal Gear Solid 3.
Because when you phrase it like hard, normal, or easy, what you get is players who feel pressured to pick normal because easy makes you feel like a little baby wuss bag. So,
Or you could be like Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn and get the modes wrong.
that too. Or Devil May Cry 3's American edition, where they intentionally made hard mode normal just to fuck with us. So,
I love how in this room, Chris never gets the bright idea to pull.
Yeah, this goes for that and the original game.
Yeah.
Because pulling items is just something you can't do.
he probably could have in this case too.
Yeah.
I mean,
or at least
especially
punch
considering
it.
how beefy he is,
Yeah. In fact, I don't even know why we need the rotating knob. We just punch it until it turns the right way.
I forgot. You need to push it off the circle and then push it on the
Back.
circle.
I don't see the point
man.
of that.
What's Chris doing?
Rebecca, you gotta try this. It's the best.
Those kind of zany antics in a Resident Evil context remind me of Shadow Leggy's old videos, actually.
Chris, get off!
I can't.
Have any of you ever watched Shadow Leggy's old music videos? This was from way back before music copyright was a major
I don't
thing
think
on
I even
YouTube.
know who that is.
Okay, she did little animated music videos to copyrighted songs. This is early YouTube.
Okay.
Featuring chibified Resident Evil characters and doing parody animations based on what the lyrics were. Also, a side series called Resident Evil Survivor, which was a Resident Evil parody of the reality show Survivor, hosted by the protagonist of Resident Evil Survivor. I think it was hosted by him. In any case, Ark Thompson was involved in that. she always played him as the blandest thing, because well, yeah, he was blander than Harry Mason. Let's be honest there.
Was Resident Evil Survivor the MMO type game?
No. It was the light gun shooter that didn't have a light gun in America
Oh,
because
that one,
censorship. Yeah. They turned a semi decent.
The light gun game didn't have a light gun. How do you fuck that up?
they turned a semi decent spin-off into a absolute slog by doing that. So it's no wonder everyone remembers it as a really terrible game. It wasn't good by any stretch of the imagination, but it was an interesting experiment.
Okay, maybe he won't do it this time.
So were you Rash or Zit?
My favorite Battletoad is Raphael.
Now, I'm picturing these guys as Battletoads in Injustice 2 fighting the turtles. It would work.
Unfortunately, the Battletoads are stuck in Killer Instinct, so they can't really do much
Hey,
about
it's
that.
a good game at least. It's just that it's it's on Xbox One.
Yeah, it's an Xbox One only game.
I forgot, since they were so sure you'd put the knife away in the item box and forget about it, they actually left you a second knife in the spider boss room so that you could have something to cut the webs away.
And
Although-
I can't think of any other man that'd be happier than with two knives.
Although cutting spider webs that big with a knife is probably not going to happen because they're
Yeah.
sticky. They're sticky. They don't exactly cut great.
Well, if they're dense, it might work.
Well, spider web is also like about as strong as steel.
Chris
too.
also has a lighter. He could either burn the web, maybe, or heat up the knife so any sticky particles get burned in the
I
process.
think the flamethrower also works.
When the giant spiders mutate, stuff about the webs they produce probably does change, so it wouldn't be a safe assumption to say.
No, what we didn't realize is that it's a bioorganic compound made by Peter Parker that he gave to the giant spiders, because having natural web shooters is just too out there.
That is actually one of my favorite things from the first Ultimate Spider run, where they do the clone saga, and there's a female Peter Parker clone, and they become pals. And when she leaves, she thwips away, and then Peter goes, "Organic web shooters, cool, also gross." Ultimate Spider-Man was really, really good until it stopped being good.
Isn't everything though?
Yeah, I was gonna say that generally happens with everything. Yeah.
Some things just stop being good before they're born. But what was I saying? It's when the spiders mutate into giant spiders, there's probably something in the chemical composition of their spider webs that changes, so it's not exactly a safe assumption to say that they would just be bigger versions of the exact same spider web that spiders use today.
That
So-
is true, but I will counter your point that Umbrella probably would want to improve the spider web, if at all possible, in order to further their science.
We need to make our own Spider-Man specifically to annoy Jay Jonah in New York.
They would want to, but, since when has Umbrella ever gotten what they wanted? They're kind of a bunch of fuck-ups
That's a good
when
point.
you think about it. Yeah.